Hi, I'm Lara Flynn and I am an Associate Director in the Employment team at Osborne Clarke, and I also co-chair the Social Diversity Committee at OC.
Hi, I'm Katy Godwin and I'm an Associate in the Real Estate team and co-chair the Social Diversity Committee along with Lara.
So we launched the committee back in June 2021, so we've been operating for about 18 months. We've had some really fantastic successes during that time and lots of social diversity initiatives, which our colleagues Tom, Catherine and Dimitri will go on to talk about in a bit more detail. As a committee, Katy and myself head it up, and then we've got Tom and Catherine who support as the diversity champion partners. And then we have a committee that sits beneath us that focuses on specific areas of social diversity focus, such as client engagement, universities and schools.
One of the key focuses for us as a committee in the last year or so that we've been working together has been to complete the Social Mobility Index report. We've now had 3 submissions and we've consistently improved our rankings over the years, mostly as a result of our focus on both internal and external social diversity initiatives, some of which you'll hear about later. So, Tom, what are we doing internally to improve social diversity?
So what are we doing to improve social diversity across the firm? And it's really important to us that actually we sort of improve social diversity throughout OC. And we sort of go about that in 3 ways within the firm. So one, we look at data. So we have data on progression, we have data on retention, and we also have data on work allocation across people, with different socially diverse backgrounds. That's really important. We also try and normalise conversations. So we have videos, we have people speaking about their different backgrounds and where they've come from and their journey to try and normalise sort of differences in socioeconomic backgrounds. And finally, we have internal resources and mentoring. So we have peer programmes and we have sort of mentorship programmes for people from socially diverse backgrounds. And that we find equally is really, really helpful.
So Catherine, what are we doing externally from a social diversity perspective?
We know that our clients are really passionate about social diversity too, and so we work really closely with them. So, for example, we recently partnered with our client ITV to work with the Social Mobility Business Partnership on 6 insight days for students across the whole of the UK, where they could learn from us and from ITV about being a lawyer, both in-house and at Osborne Clarke. We're also working to expand our pool of universities and working really closely with those and organisations like the 93% Club to open up the pools of applicants that we have to our graduate recruitment schemes.
And Tom, are we collaborating with other external organisations?
So how are we partnering with other organisations in terms of our social diversity? And again, that's super important to us. It's important to reach out and partner with different people who can help us reach various different areas. So we partner with people like Strive, 93% Club, Upreach, which are all sort of independent organisations out there trying to help people from a more socially diverse background come up through. And that's super important to us.
So Catherine, I understand that Osborne Clarke has a number of long-term programmes that have been in place from a social diversity perspective for quite some time. Can you tell us more about that?
So we've always worked really closely with the Social Mobility Business Partnership, and our managing partner Ray Berg is a founding trustee. We've taken this forward ourselves and launched a new partnership called The Bridge, where we're working with Vision Path and 3 schools that are really close to our 3 UK offices. Those schools have been chosen because they've got a disproportionate level of disadvantage both locally and nationally. And so we're investing and working really closely with them to try and open up opportunities for those students. We've been really fortunate this year to bring the 2 together, and we've done our SMBP Insight Days through the Bridge schools. And so we're really hoping to make those investments that we've already been making into our communities really focused in those local areas and take them forward as much as we can.
And Dimitri, how is the firm using apprenticeships?
The key characteristics, the core of the Solicitor Apprentice Programme is that it's all about working from day one, all about getting exposure to the work from day one. There is an academic qualification, there is a degree that you're working towards alongside, but it's almost as if the roles are reversed, 80% of the time working in the firm. And that allows us to appeal to people that wouldn't necessarily have considered a career in the law. The element of pay opens it up even further. It's also worth saying that now that we've been running it for 4 years, we are certain that the solicitor apprentices are going to have the same experiences, well, experience is not the word, the same outcomes and the same opportunities as our colleagues following the more traditional route. In terms of ensuring the broadest pool of applicants, well, we work with our education provider to ensure that the roles are advertised as broadly as possible. We work with the Bridge to make sure that we are connecting and explaining the opportunities now available, always available, but this new opportunity that's available, to make sure that, you know, people are out there knowing that there is an accessible, a different path to the profession. We're working with the Social Mobility Awareness Partnership to gain people exposure to our law firm so that they can understand what's involved and see, hopefully, that it's not as daunting a profession or a place to work with. And perhaps most movingly for me, it's seeing our cohort, our ever-growing, but currently at 17 cohort of solicitor apprentices, engaging with where they were educated, with their former kind of teachers, with staff, with educational institutions, and kind of a keenness from both sides to go out there and explain about this route, explain about the profession, and talk about the paths to it and invite applications.
One of the big things coming down the tracks for us is the allyship programme, which is entitled Inclusion Allies. Social diversity is a big part of that, and we're really looking forward to working with the other strands.
We're also supporting leading charity UK Youth, so Osborne Clarke is committing £500,000 over the next 3 years to supporting that charity with addressing the issue of a lack of digital skills and resources for young people, something which is particularly important now with the sort of post-pandemic era and the increased sort of online and sort of digital working.
And we're also carrying out a supply chain evaluation, so we'll be working with our suppliers to find out what they're doing on their social diversity.
So that's just a sort of a summary of the social diversity initiatives that we've been implementing across Osborne Clarke. As you'll see, we've introduced a lot of initiatives, both internal and external. We've got lots of exciting plans coming up in the pipeline for the next year or so, including the Bridge and collaborating with other external organisations. So just watch this space.